Hello and welcome to the Fit and Fabulous Any Age podcast. Today I've got my co-host with me, Camille, and my mom. Feels so weird saying your name. And Dakota, my sister. Today we're going to be talking about the buzzwords in fitness right now. I feel like this is a really important subject to cover, especially for those of you who are like a little confused about maybe, I don't know, some of the things you see on social media. I feel like they're so misleading and like what is like actually going to be beneficial for you specifically as a listener. So let's go ahead and just dive in. Reverse dieting is the first one me and Dakota discussed we wanted to talk about. Okay, so let's talk about reverse dieting. You guys can just chime in. um, First of all, like, what is reverse dieting? Let's cover that first.
Reverse dieting, I think an important thing to touch on is once you have met your physique goals, then you look at, okay, let's bring that food up, let's bump that cardio down, and let's get things to where we work toward, and you can do this a smart way, where we work towards keeping that physique that you have while decreasing the stress load on the body.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I don't know, mom, what are, like, you kind of give your 2 cents on reverse dieting, because I feel like we get a lot of me and Dakota, we get a lot of people like asking us what that is. You've been through a handful of reverse diets. At what point do you feel like incorporating the reverse diet even makes sense?
I love it. It's like usually when I am done with my competitions and like I've met my stage goal, my stage weight, my body's lean, it's hard, it's ready to compete. It's like the leanest, the hardest it's ever been. And reverse dieting for me just gets me back up to a level that can maintain that, but get me up to a healthy weight again. And so it really gets your body, to me, where it can maintain what you've got. And because stage weight is so much leaner than what you normally would be, so it brings me up a little bit higher, and it keeps my body healthy and safe. um, to me it just keeps me where I can maintain a healthy body weight. So that to me is what it means to me, and it's always after I compete. um, it's just a healthy body weight I can maintain because you've done all the work. And now this is like your reward, reverse dieting, and then you get to where you can maintain, and it's you've learned the things that you need to, and so it's so much easier. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think like reverse dieting, like mom said, like notice how she said it gets her up to maintenance. I think a lot of women think like reverse dieting is the answer to like getting to their fat loss goals. You will not reach your fat loss goals from reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is meant to it is something you do once you've reached your fat loss goals. I sometimes will, like, I have clients, I'll put them on like temporary like diet breaks, or we'll do like refeeds, but I'll never do a reverse diet until we've reached like their composition goal, because it's honestly just going to slow your progress down. Because why would you reverse diet if you still have more fat to lose? You're literally just like sabotaging your results at that point. If you I saw a post, and I kind of laughed because I was like, this kind of makes sense. He's like, why would you have a cheat meal or cheat meals every week if you haven't reached your fat loss goal? And I'm like, I get the point of that, because that can slow your progress down tremendously. It can pull you back up to maintenance. And so that's all reverse dieting is. It's literally trying to get your calories up to maintenance, and that's it. But it makes no sense to me to do that if you're not at a place where you actually like are happy with. I don't reverse diet until I've reached my composition goal. So like right now, for the last like basically 2 weeks, I've been reverse dieting, but I'm continuing to drop weight. But let me be really honest about why that's happening. I'm already super shredded and super lean, so it's working because I reached my composition goal. But that doesn't always work. This is probably the first time my body's responded like this, like, ever, if I'm being completely honest. It's kind of freaking me out. It's weird. But reverse dieting like is a good tool you can use to get leaner sometimes, but not always, and rarely does it work. I will say, as a coach for women, and I've been doing this for long enough, like, it doesn't really work as like, I don't know. It's not like I see these things on social media and it's like, oh, I reverse dieted, I lost 20 pounds. I'm like,
You
um,
didn't reverse diet.
you were in a caloric deficit. You lost 20 pounds in a caloric deficit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's,
I think an important thing to understand is reverse dieting. You also have to be really strategic. You have to be smart about it. Like you can't just reach your physique goals and be like, "Sweet, I'm here. I'm going to go out to eat 5 times this week." You still have to be super strategic. So you slowly add food back in, more I would say volume, like calories, but you need to eat the same things that you've been eating previously that your body digests well.
yeah.
You know, there's that word digestion. We'll talk about that at some point.
I know we should
But
talk about that. I feel like that applies to like everything we talk about.
it really does. It really does.
And it's great. Reverse dieting, though, you stay with your coach. You stay with your coach, somebody that knows your body, that can inch your food up a little at a time, and they've gotten to know your body and how your body works. And so it's, to me, it's crucial to stay with a coach. Post show, like you girls both talk about that. It's crucial. So
Post show,
great,
Loss.
when you've reached your
weight loss.
physique
I really
goals,
hate it when
yes.
I have a client that like we're super close to their fat loss goal and they're like, okay, I'll see you later. And I'm like, I literally will tell them, I'm like, look, I know like you think you're ready to go, but I'm telling you, until I can reverse you out of this, like you're gonna have a hard time. Like this is gonna be a hard time. And I'm not saying this because I want your money. I'm not saying this to sabotage you, but you've gotta allow me to reverse you out of this dieting phase. And if you don't, you're just hurting yourself. And so I think a lot of women think like, oh, I've reached, this is why a lot of women always gain the weight back. And I'm gonna just be honest right here. It's because they simply will go through a fat loss phase and they just like say bye bye to their coach or bye bye to whatever diet they're doing, and they go back.
All the
Yes,
habits that they've built, they stop doing those.
yeah, they stop doing them.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, because I'm sure you see it too, Dakota. Like as coaches, and most of my clients are good. They'll stick with me until they're like at the place where they want to be, and then I'm like, okay, now we need to reverse diet you. But man, I have a client right now. I'm going to use her as an example, like Christine. Yeah, we have gone through like this whole like building phase and losing fat phase, building, losing fat. And now I'm slowly reversing her and she's staying super lean, super shredded. But that only happens if you stick with it and you stay consistent with it. And honestly, reverse dieting, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it, you can't do it yourself. Like
Mm-mm.
I personally, when I'm coming off shows, I need accountability. And this applies to women. If you don't compete, this applies to you if you're coming off dieting and losing fat. You need accountability 10 times more when you have reached that fat loss goal than you did during the fat loss, because your hunger hormones, you've reached your goal, your body fat is lower, and your hunger is going to be even more heightened. It's going to be easier for you to be like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm already down in weight, right? Like, how easy is it when you're done competing or when you're done losing fat to just kind of be like, I'll just eat whatever I want. But when you have accountability, it really keeps you checked in, like
Keeps you adherent.
keeps you adherent. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. The other thing that goal is removed at that point, whether you're a competitor or looking for physique goal, that goal, you have met that goal and it's okay. Well, what are we looking for now? And so that's what's hard is it becomes 10 times harder because you don't have that deadline
yeah,
in mind. And
exactly.
so it's in well, and not only that, sticking with a coach helps because they help you get out of your own headspace. It's really easy when your calories go up, your cardio comes down, to think, oh my gosh, I look a little different today, or like whatever it is. And so, you can actually harm yourself because while you're trying to get your food higher or something like that, you can either get in your own head, be like, okay, I need to decrease my calories, or the other side of things, okay, now I'm in reverse. I get to eat all these calories. And so that's why having a coach is so helpful through that time because they keep you here when you could be over either way.
Yeah, mom, talk about like, well, I guess like let's all talk about how that's helped us, because like even us, like as coaches, like we need accountability. I still hire people to help me because I know, like, even though I do this for a living, and this is literally what I do all day long, this is like, I get on calls and I talk to my clients. Like, you would think that, like, I don't need accountability. I've got this. But when I'm coming off of fat loss phase, I need my accountability 10 times more because, I mean, geez, I drive by a crumble cookie or I go, anything. I'm like, ooh, I could do that. But then I know I've got to check in with my coach. Like, I don't want to disappoint them. I also just, like, I know I'm going to have to get on the scale and face, like, what's actually happening and what I've actually done. When it's just you being, like, trying to keep yourself accountable, let's be real, that never works. Even, like,
It doesn't
clients are like, well,
work.
I've got my husband. I'm like, yeah,
No.
that doesn't work.
Uh-uh. Your husband's not going to get after you like a like a coach will hold you
No,
accountable.
no, not at all. Yes.
Or
How's
if
that?
they Oh, go ahead, mom.
Well, I think it was Brooklyn that started saying something, weren't you, Brooklyn?
Oh, no. No, you go, mom.
I don't
Okay.
think mom was going to say anything, or
I
maybe
was
she
just listening
was.
to you guys. All I could think about
She
was
said,
Pitch
uh-huh.
Perfect, and when she goes, mm, uh,
Better
better
not.
Better
not.
not. Thought about smoking meth, but then I thought, better not.
That's right. Yeah. I was
That's a
just,
funny show.
I'm glad I've learned because my first competition, when I reached that big goal, it took me a full year to reach it. I just remember my coach at that time, and you had helped me, Brooklyn, but I had a trainer at the gym, and he was really good, but he ate very, very clean. And he's like, it's really great because you can gain a lot of good muscle after a competition. Just you have like a 2 week to a month window. And he's like, it's okay, let your body calm down. And I gained like, oh my gosh, 15 pounds and then 20 pounds. And then I had to lose it for the next competition. It was just really frustrating. I mean, I remember eating so much and I didn't really have any accountability, although I still went to him at the gym. It wasn't like my coach now that keeps me completely under lock and key. And he's like, no, we're reverse dieting you. You're doing it the right way. Like even Brooklyn was like, Mom, that's a horrible mindset. I'm like, I know, but yeah. So I'm glad I learned from my first competition. To the second one, I feel like I got a little bit better. And I just learned I couldn't swing that way. My body, oh, it just depresses the hell out of me. And even though it feels good in the moment, eating that fruit pizza, I mean, all that stuff is really fun in the moment. But when you step back and you get done eating, you're like, oh shit, what have I done? And then
Yeah.
the next day you have those horrible cravings. And
It's
so
kind
I
of
have
like a
learned,
circle of, like,
oh
Yes.
death.
my
Like, it's like
gosh,
it's
yes,
such a cycle. Like, you eat the
yep.
sugar and
So
the shit,
hard.
you don't feel good. The next day, you're like, well, what's another day? And then next thing you know, you're 20 pounds up, right?
Yeah, and it's a really hard, depressing thing to get out of. And so I think everybody goes through that first competition that they learn, okay, never again. And then I have a coach now that's really, really good with me. I mean, he keeps me on track. I mean, he will keep me in line, and I need that. I love that. But I've also learned through the years, I will never go through that again. That was awful. That messes with your mind. And so when you have a goal in mind, you always have to have, coming out of it, well, what do I want? Like, what's my next thing? Do I want to keep this? Do I want to maintain it? Well, yeah, I do. And so that's what you've got to keep in mind is I've worked so hard for this. Let's just keep at it. And so that's
Yeah.
why a good coach is so crucial because I went through a time that I didn't, and it really hurt me. And it was hard. It's a pain in the ass to lose that kind of weight. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 pounds is a
And it
lot
gets
of weight for
harder. It gets harder
yeah.
once you have lost it, gained it back, and try to lose it again. Your body is so smart, and it's like, whoa, 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 what are we doing here? And
That's
it's
right.
harder the next time around.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
So it just like, if you're gonna, I mean, coming back to originally what we were talking about, like reverse diet, make sure you're in the place to do that, first of all. Make sure you have a
Hmm.
coach who actually knows what the actual
Right.
F that means and like what they're doing. Because there are a lot of coaches out there who just I don't know. I feel like
They can be
if
too
you're,
nice to you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
need
you
somebody
need
that's going to
accountability.
kick your butt
And
and
someone
tell
that
you
will
when
just
to
kind of tell you how it is too, right?
right,
Like that's
right,
really helpful to just have that kind of level of accountability too. But
right.
yeah, I think reverse dieting at the end of the day, like it should not be something you'll never, like, it makes no sense. It's basically like saying, I'm going to try to lose fat at maintenance calories.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't work. It works for like people who get like really insane. And when I say shredded, I mean like stage lean. Like right now, I've done probably how many shows have I done? I don't even know. It's really sad. I've done so many. You'd think I'd be an Olympian by now, but I am not. I have done like 40 shows. I think close to. Jordan counted. This is the very first time I've gotten this shredded, and I started reverse dieting, and I've continued to lose weight. So, as someone who has done that, like the average female, I'm sorry, but like you're gonna reverse diet, and you very rarely will you lose weight reverse dieting. I think I've had it happen to maybe a handful of clients, and I'm talking like maybe five, and I've been a coach for 10 years.
Well, and if you're losing weight in your reverse diet, usually that means that you need to eat even a little bit more. And like, like usually that's like, okay, oh my gosh, we're not in a dieting phase anymore. Let's change some factors here.
Yeah, 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 exactly. So, yeah, well, let's move on to our next subject. I thought I wrote it down. Oh,
Creatine.
creatine. Let's talk about creatine for a minute. I'll let you start there, Dakota, because this was your thing that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we both get asked this all the time.
Yes.
The hot question is should I take creatine?
Yeah.
And Brooklyn, I mean, you're great at putting this all in a nutshell, but pretty much it kind of messes with your head if you start taking it. You haven't been taking it.
Yeah.
You're trying to lose weight and you start taking it, you're going to see that scale jump up. So it messes with your head. So we come at it from more of a mental standpoint than anything.
Well, you have to also understand when you start creatine, there's intercellular fluid that's going into your muscle cells. So because of that, it takes up to 30 days for females for it to fully saturate into your muscles. So if you are starting, like, I will never start a client on creatine unless they've already been taking it. I'm like, that's fine, let's just keep it in. But if I have a client who just starts with me and they're like, I can't lose fat no matter what I do, and I start creatine, and then their weight's up 5 pounds in a week, they're like, what the fuck? And they're so frustrated and so discouraged because their weight's gone up. I'm like, well, it's the creatine. And then me sitting there having to explain to them, like, physiologically what's happening to their body, it's not clicking. They're frustrated, they're discouraged, and they're like, whatever, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want, doesn't matter. We could have avoided all of that by just not putting creatine in because they were mentally and psychologically not ready for it. So I like to add creatine in. I mean, I've personally taken creatine on and off forever. I mean,
Yeah,
literally since the
same.
beginning. I love creatine. It's one of the most research supplements out there. Like literally, it is the best supplement you can take. That being said, though, I don't think women understand that when you start creatine, you 100% will see anywhere from a 3 to 5, sometimes 7 pound, I've seen, weight gain on the scale. It's not fat, it's just water. Creatine monohydrate. You think about what it says, you break it down into what it says. Monohydrate. It literally causes your body to hold onto water. It goes into your muscle cells and it will hold on to water. For a lot of women, what they experience is a little bit of puffiness and a little bit of like maybe some swelling in their midsection. And it's, again, this is temporary. If you can push past the 30-day mark, because that's what the study showed, it takes 30 days to fully saturate into your system, you will notice that the scale will maybe hover or it'll start dropping after 30 days. But it takes 30 days. Find me a female who just signed up with coaching who will tolerate that for 30 days.
Well,
No.
exactly.
Like, they're going to go into a fuck it headspace and they're going to go binge.
And they're going to be like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, why am I doing this? What's the point? My weight's not moving. Because especially
I'm doing all the things,
I'm doing
but
all the
yeah.
things. And it's like, well, like, it's probably the creatine. We pull the creatine out and they drop like 5 pounds. Like, oh, that was really nice. I'm really glad to see the weight drop. I feel so much leaner. And I'm like, Yeah. So maybe we add creatine in once you've reached a little closer to your weight loss goal. Um,
Yeah. Well, and there's people like creatine's awesome, but there's people who have reached their goals, their physique goals, both strength and everything without creatine.
yeah. Yeah. Creatine's a great supplement. I love it. I personally take
I
it.
love it. Yeah.
I take Power ATP from NutriShop. It's probably the best one I've found that works for me. Helps me build the most muscle mass. I did stop taking creatine for like a year because I just wanted to see what happened, and I actually got smaller, and I got back on it. But I will go on and off creatine because your creatine you can cycle on and off of it. But I don't think creatine is always like I'll have clients that start with me. They're like, well, "What about creatine?" And I'm like, "You just told me that you're struggling to lose this last 10 pounds. I don't think creatine is the best thing to do right now until we can lose that 10 pounds and then we can add it in." And as a coach, I come from it at a point, like Dakota said, like a psychological standpoint. Because,
Yes.
like, you guys, like, talk about, well, like for you, Dakota, we kind of have similar bodies that just kind of fight us sometimes on fat loss, right? If
Wanna
we
win.
had a supplement in that causes us to gain 5 pounds in a week, I mean, what does that do to your psyche?
Even just like when your weight is up 0.5 pounds,
Yeah,
that messes with your psyche and you're like, what did I do yesterday? Like what? And then like you have to reevaluate all the factors. But 5 pounds, like you think about that, somebody starting their journey and then their weight's up 5 pounds, like maybe a number that they've never seen before, they're going to be like, what do they have me doing?
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Anything you wanted to add to that, Mom? I know you take creatine,
No, I take
but
it.
I
I've
started you
taken
on
it from the
creatine many
beginning.
years ago.
So I don't think I
Yeah,
ever noticed a weight gain just because I've taken it from the very beginning. I got on some good supplements that helped my body where I'm older. I felt like my body needed just more help. So
yeah,
I was really good. I had Brooklyn that they owned a NutriShop back then, and they knew all the good supplements to get on. So I was really lucky
mhm.
to have her in my corner that she could be like, Mom, this is good. This is good. This is very clean. It's good. I was very lucky that way. So,
yeah. I've been taking creatine for years, so like for me, but like even this week, like my coach has had me pull out my creatine for both weeks. He's like, you're just gonna hold water and you just pull it out, and I'm like, that's probably why my weight's been dropping so well because I'm losing a lot. I've dropped a lot of like water retention from the creatine. So creatine's good. Do I think everybody should take it? I think you need to be strategic about when you add it in, and not just add it in. And make sure the creatine you're taking is quality creatine too, because there's a lot of shitty ones out there. There's ones out there that I find for females, just because it says creatine monohydrate on it, doesn't mean as a female you should take it because your body might not do well with it. The best form I found for my female clients is the Power ATP from NutriShop. I don't get paid for that like at all. Like I don't get any kickback for that anymore. Like we used to own a shop, but I found that to be the best one. So let's talk about okay. So hit versus steady state now. Let's talk about that. What are your guys' thoughts on hit versus steady state?
I don't think I'll ever go back to hit cardio.
Yeah.
I do steady state now. After experiencing both, I love steady state. Like it's just, yeah, it takes a little bit more time to burn the amount of calories, but the way my body recovers is completely different.
hmm,
So hit is basically like you do like quick time on and then you take time off and then you do quick time on and you do it for like a what would you say, Brooklyn? Like 20, 30 minutes,
Yeah.
sometimes 15. Like it just depends. But compared to like steady state, like 30 minutes to 60 minutes to burn the same amount of calories.
Yeah.
But my body just recovers a lot better doing steady state.
I also feel like I hold my muscle volume more too.
Yes, I
Doing
agree with that.
like I'm not as like it's like I don't deplete my body as much. I have more energy to go into like my lifts and train heavy. When I was doing a lot of hit, I would feel almost under recovered going into my training
Hmm.
sessions, and I couldn't lift as heavy. So I feel like I lost a lot of ability to build the muscle I wanted to. And also, like I'll be honest, when I was doing a lot of hit cardio, I was super puffy and super inflamed. Like, And my legs, because we have, you know, our family, we've got these, you know, we've genetically, we have more, what would we call it, like more pear shaped, right? Where we just hold more body fat on the bottom. When I was doing a lot of HIIT, I could not peel body fat off my legs to save my life.
Well, and if you think about HIIT, you're using your legs, so you're working those muscle fibers that build that type of weight that, you know, and so you're putting your muscle and energy into the HIIT cardio versus steady state. It's just you're just moving.
Yeah.
You're moving at a good pace and your body's able to recover with it.
And it's still like I had a client ask me. She goes, "Well, I heard she's like in her 60s. She's like, "Well, I heard that HIIT cardio is good for your heart." And I said, "Well, you know what else is good for your heart? Weightlifting." I said,
Mhm.
"Weightlifting, you if you're lifting heavy enough, it's like a HIIT session. Your heart rate gets really high cuz you went heavy on that lift and then it comes back down. Essentially, it's the same thing." And I said, "You combine that with like moderate intensity cardio or low intensity cardio, like you don't necessarily need that. Like I don't know where HIIT became so popular, but also too like I feel like HIIT cardio is like I feel like unless you're like an athlete, why do you need to do it? Like if unless you're training athletically for something, like you're gonna go do like I don't know, like a triathlon, like a sprint or something. Like why are you training like that? Like there's no I just don't like I look back at myself even when I told people to do that and I was like, that was stupid, Brooklyn. That was a bad coaching moment. But I know what I know now, right?
Well, exactly. And sometimes you have to do those things to learn it and get through it and see the other side.
Yeah,
You just
that's
have
true.
to. But with HIIT, I remember like I always enjoyed it while I was doing it. But getting into it, the anxiety that I would feel getting into those HIIT sessions, I was like, okay, gotta do my HIIT cardio, like it was so I don't know, it was stressful going to do your HIIT cardio.
It's the anxiety I feel with leg days sometimes. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. But at least with leg days, I'm like gonna see the benefits from like the growth of the muscle. But like HIIT cardio, it's like you're basically just like tearing yourself apart for 20, what, 15, 20, 30 minutes.
It literally feels that way. Where lifting, it's like, yeah, where HIIT cardio, it's like, ugh.
Well, because it's like 30 seconds and then rest,
Yeah.
and then 30 seconds, and then you're just like, I can't. Like, and then not to mention the hunger after
Oh,
hit cardio.
the worst.
Like, you're so hungry, and it's almost like you can't quench it. Like, it's just like this, I don't even know. Like, you're just so hungry. It's like a leg day, like a heavy leg day times 10 when you do hit cardio. So,
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
to me, you're already tired
Doing,
by when you go before you even go hit the weights. I would do it before I hit the weights, like when I first started all of it. And I was just tired. It was like, I mean, that kind of wiped me out. So then I'd have to get more energy and go lift the weights. And being older, just a steady state, it's so much better on your joints. I mean, I'm just coming from an older perspective. So much better on your joints. It's just safer, much better. And like I've said
yeah.
before, everybody can walk, everybody can do it. It's safer.
mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, Coda.
I was just gonna say, I like that you mentioned joints, mom, because you said you come from like the older perspective, but I will say I did it when I was like 18, 19, 20. My joints hurt.
Yeah.
Like it's not
It's a
just
lot.
you, like my joints hurt doing it.
Um,
Well, and then you also have to like realize when it comes to like when we're talking about like females because the hit generation is like Dakota's generation and up, right? A lot of the younger girls don't do hit anymore because we're coming out and saying don't do this. But I find a lot of my clients are still they're in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s. Well, my 50-year-old clients not as much because they're like that hurts me. But like my 30 and 40-year-old clients, sometimes my 50, they're like, well, what do you think about hit? Because I saw this social media person tell me I need to do hit, and I'm just like, no, like how? And I'll ask them. I'll like go through it with them. I'm like, how do you feel after you do those kind of sessions? They're like, I feel tired. I feel good, but then I'll pull them off of that, and they'll immediately drop like 3 to 5 pounds within a week. It's just so inflammatory. I think that's the biggest thing that people miss is like the goal behind like composition changes is to keep inflammation as low as possible, but also like optimize how much muscle you can build. And if you're doing let's say you do a leg day and then a hit day and a leg day, or an upper body day and then a hit day, it's like, where's the recovery there?
It's not there.
It's not there. That's what I see a lot. Let's talk about overtraining for a minute.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I used to overtrain like crazy and I didn't even
I know.
think I was.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because I see a lot of women. Well, let's talk about training in general. Like, what is, I don't know, Mom, you'd be a good one to chime in on this one. What was the shift when you were like just working out to when you actually started training like a bodybuilder? Like, what did you do differently compared to when you were just, because you've always worked out. Like, I can remember you always have like
Yeah.
worked out, but you definitely did not look the way you look now. When I was like, I don't know, in high school, like you're shredded. So like,
She is shredded.
Thank
like what
you.
did you?
Thank you. Um,
Well, you are.
well, it
People
went
ask me, they're
from,
like, "Why is your mom more shredded than you?" And I'm like, I don't know. She's got good genetics. Just kidding.
I do have pretty good upper body, but these girls have good glutes and hammies. Boy, do they ever. So, okay, back to me and the what I used to do when I really started, when I went back to the gym and started training heavy. And even before then, I would do videos. We have a gym downstairs, and I would always do all over body workouts. And I would do those 5 to 6 days a week. And, plus I do cardio. So I've always worked out, but they were all over body workouts. And so it never really gave my separate body parts. Does that sound right?
They're
But
like
it
full
never,
Yeah.
body workouts, Mom. Were they like full body, like
they were full body.
every day? Yeah,
Yeah.
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 You
And
don't
so
build
I
muscle.
was always working out my whole body, and my body never got a break or recovered. And then when it really switched is when I really started. I mean, I competed my first time, but I was still doing a lot of overall body workouts. And then when it really switched is when I went to a different coach that actually is in this world of competition. It's a whole different world. You got to go to people that know what they're doing and that live this lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle. And so my coach actually, I mean, she she got me doing the splits. And so that was when things really started working. And then even more so, you can define it even more so than just lifting heavy weights. You actually like lift very precise and what's another word? You're
You
very
work
careful with
individual
your,
muscle groups.
you do, but then like what's different is now I do lift heavy, but I'm very precise with my movements. I only move that, like Dakota, like you said, your specific muscle groups. So instead of lifting the absolute heaviest I could lift with using my whole body to get it there, I'm very precise with my movement. So it's taken me years to get here. Like even this last year, my coach is like, Camille, you're a whole different bodybuilder than you were even a couple years ago. So my whole world is just different how I train. It's like it's really evolved. So, yeah, and my body does have time to recover. I do 2 heavy leg days, and in between that, I do a shoulder back day. Then I do a shoulder back day after I have just an easy cardio day. Then I have an easy pump day on Saturday. So I I have 3 days kind of recovery, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Well,
very
Yeah, so
different than the
you lift heavy 4 days,
4 days.
and then you have one pump day where it's literally just you're just getting blood flow to the
Right,
muscle. And then you have 2 days off where you can do like active rest,
right.
stuff like that, pretty much where you can do like cardio and stuff like that. So you
Yeah,
truly have 4 days that you are lifting heavy, going hard in the gym. That way your
right.
body can recover and you can put all your energy into those 4 specific days.
Yeah,
well, what I
yeah, and they're
see a lot of women your age, Mom, doing is they think they see someone like you and they're like, "Oh, she works out 7 days a week," and I'm like, "No, she would not have the amount of muscle she has if she worked out 7 days a week." And I had a client today. She's like, "Well, I saw so and so online, and they say they train 7 days a week." And I'm like, "I highly doubt that she has that amount of muscle and she trains 7 days a week. And if she does, she's taking some type of anabolic steroid. Because even myself, like, I can't train. I mean, I hit my fifth day of training and I'm freaking done. I'm like, I need a rest day. Like I am tired. And I always say that to my clients, like if you can train 6, 7 days a week, you're not training hard enough.
Exactly.
Like if you like literally 4 days sometimes for me is like I'm done. Like I hit my 4 day and I'm like, I don't want to hit that fifth glute day. Fuck that. Like but then I do it anyways. I'm like, okay, whatever. But honestly, I could personally 4 days a week for me is like my money spot. Yeah.
Love 4 days. Yeah.
4 days is good. Yeah. So I think that's a good point to drive home is like it's not about the amount of times you work out in a week. It's the quality of training you're doing during your training sessions. Are you lifting heavy enough? Are you being intentional? And the split body training is it's the only way. I've been training like that for a decade. I'll never
It
train any
works.
other way. Full body workouts don't work. Like you're not going to build muscle doing a full body workout. I always say like you always want an ROI. You want a return on investment on your training session. So why are you going in? Like I'll see women that like I still see them and I like see them go every day into like the group classes. I'm like good for you, but at the same time like I know they're probably going home and they're frustrated because they still look the same. And it's like girl, just like I'm like girl, like just come to the
Come here.
weightlifting session and come lift some heavy weights with me. Those 15-pound dumbbells in the group class, they're not going to get you there. Like I'll have women ask me like, "Oh, I want to look like you. I want to have shoulders like you, glutes like you." And then I'll like ask them what their training split looks like. They're like, "Well, I do high fit on Monday, and then I do spin on Tuesday, and then I'll hit my upper body on this day, and then my lower body on this day, and then I'll do my hit session this day." And they're training 7 days a week.
It's just like cardio based.
I'm like, aren't you exhausted and starving?
Well, in some of those classes, you've got to be so careful. I actually tried to do that a couple days when I first went back to the gym because I was just doing cycling. I injured a rib, so I was just really trying to be able to breathe. And I remember like there's so many of you. Who's going to watch your body and how your body can do these exercises? I mean, are you
And they're
being safe?
fast, right?
They're so fast you can hurt yourself. Like
Yeah.
you've got to be so careful with injuries in there. And I had injuries and I couldn't do it. I love lifting heavy duty weights because I can be safe when I lift weights. I know my exact movements. I'm extremely careful. And to me, lifting weights, you can be precise. You can be so careful. And it's just, it's a safe way to like, oh, be with your body. It's just safe. So yeah, I've done it all. I've
Yeah,
done it all.
I think I agree with that. Weight training, the difference between going into like the gym and doing like split body training is like you're doing isolated movements. You're not doing like these high compound or these like multi, for a lot of these group classes, it's like, okay, you've got 15 repetitions. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's like, I'm like this. 1, 2. Like
Uh,
that's how you build muscle. It's usually the slower, controlled. If
The
you really
mind to muscle
yeah, the
connection.
right.
mind
Like
muscle connection. I think that's where a lot of women, like even like now, I'm always surprised I'll get women. They're like, I've been lifting weights for 10 years. I look the same. And then I'll have them give me their training programming. And I'm like, I don't know who programmed this for you, but this is way too much volume. Way too much volume. You're doing, like, they're doing like the full body training days. It's almost like a group training
Yeah.
style. I don't know. There's a way to build muscle and there's a way not to build muscle. And you will not build
yeah.
muscle by doing
I'll say full body workouts have their time and their place. You know, maybe once a week. And it's not you're going heavy throughout it all. It's just like getting a good pump or something like that. Or maybe you've been on vacation and you haven't been able to work out and you have one day access to a gym. Okay, hit a full body. But it's not like it shouldn't be part of your like every day I hit full body. That
yeah.
you won't see progress that way. You just won't.
Yeah, so like this is how I do mine. This is how I split mine up. So I do shoulders twice a week, okay? And then I have like I would love to train shoulders 3 times a week. Really. I love training upper body. It's my favorite. Shoulders twice a week and then I'll do like a back day and then I'll do the other day it'll just be shoulder isolated. And then I do my glutes 3 times a week and they're mostly glute movements, but I have some other compound movements in there. But I'm still going heavy. I'm doing like twice a week I'm doing like well, 3 times a week I'm doing hip thrusts. But then I'm
Oh,
also doing like split squats and deadlift, like straight leg deadlifts, not conventional deadlifts. I'm sorry, but like I see women, they're like, "Oh, I deadlift," and I'm like, they're like, "I don't want my legs to blow up," and I'm like, "Then why are you deadlifting? Just do like straight leg deadlifts, right?" I'm working my posterior chain, which means I'm working my glutes and my hamstrings. That's my primary focus when I'm training, because I don't want to blow up my quads, and competing, it's all about the glute hams, right? So that's what I do. And I've been training like that for a while. And it's how I've built my glutes up to literally going from like no ass to having an ass. So it's the only way though. And as someone who's like built her physique up like I have, it's the only way to train. And that's what I explain to my clients. They're like, "Well, am I going to get bulky?" And I'm like, "Girl, the only way you're going to get bulky is if you're taking steroids and a shit ton of them, and we're eating in a caloric surplus, and you're training like a CrossFit athlete. Period. That's it. You're not going to get bulky." For what I see, so let's talk about that for a minute. I just want to end that. Okay, so Dakota, have you ever had a client concerned that they're going to get bulky? Or mom, I guess I could ask you, if you ever have friends, they're worried if they start lifting weights that they're going to get bulky. Like, how do you address that? And then how do you explain like your experience of weightlifting? Because clearly none of us are bulky. We all have lifted weights for years and years and years and years. We're different ages. Well, yes, we
right.
have the same genetics, but like the thing is
Well,
about our
different.
genetics is like me and Dakota, we probably have more of the ability to get really, really bulky because of like our genetics from like dad's side of the family. But like even then, we're still over here like grow shoulders, grow, you know.
That's I would love to get bulky muscles. Like, come on. It's just not going to happen. If I'm getting bulky, it's body fat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Um it's not
Yeah.
it's not muscle. I wish I could put on muscle
All right.
like
Please
that.
just
You
more
just
muscle.
please please
Muscle takes
muscle just oh,
time.
go ahead, mom.
Well, it's
Yes.
so hard to build and it takes time. That's why you see these masters athletes and they've been at this for years and
Mhm.
they're
And they're
ripped
not
and
bulky.
no, no. In
They look
fact,
good.
you see people and you see their muscles in pictures and you're like, they look so big and you see them in real life and they're quite petite. They just have muscle. Um, so I'm going to answer your question, Brooklyn, as an older athlete. I do have I have friends that come up to me. I've had two friends come up to me that have actually they've had testing done. And when you get older, you will lose bone density if you don't lift. It's just a fact. It happens. You will lose bone density and that becomes dangerous. And they've had tests run and they're like, Camille, my bone density is so low. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And they're like, I've got to start lifting weights. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, well, I lift really heavy. I lift really precise. And I'm like, it's going to take time, but you can do it. Just be patient with yourself. But that is a scary thing when you get older and you lose that bone density because then you get injured and it can really take you out for a long time. So, um, mine building muscle, it's taken me time, but I've been lifting heavy duty for 8 years, 8 years heavy duty in the gym, and you can do it. You just have to be patient. But
eight
did
years.
that answer your yeah, eight
No, that
years too, since I've been competing and lifting heavy duty to walk on stage and to have a body like a bodybuilder. But even then, it evolved. But getting older,
you
um,
started at 50, mom. I think a lot of women are
I
like,
did.
"Oh, it's too late for me. I'll never build my body. I'm 50." And I'm like, "Literally, you can start whenever." I even saw a lady online. She started at 60 and now she's 70 and she looks insane. And I'm like, "You're
Yeah,
70?" Like if you start lifting, but you lift the right way. You train like a
I lift.
bodybuilder.
I have learned. I've evolved. The way I do it's evolved. I lift heavy duty weights and I'm very precise. And I have 4 days of heavy duty lifting. So yeah, you can do it. You can start at any age. You can build. I've built a lot of muscle. In fact, I just got my muscle weighed and measured today. I gained a lot of muscle in my legs, even in the
That's
last
awesome.
year, which for me is hard because although these are my daughters, we do have different genetics with how we build muscle. And so, yeah, it's just cool. You can totally train and build what you want. You just have to have the right coach too. You've got to have people that know what they're doing.
And the
So
right programming too,
the
like
right
Yeah.
the right
programming,
training
yes.
programming, like it's
Hmm.
I don't know,
And you got to
it's
keep at it. Just keep at it. Don't stop.
yeah. I had a call with a
Well,
client today. She was frustrated. She's like, I've been at this for a whole year, Brooklyn, and I still don't look the way I want to look. And I'm like, mom's like, it's taken me 8 years. And I'm like, it's gonna, and I literally told her, I'm like, I'm sorry, but my clients that have the biggest transformations, they've been at this for years, not 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And like, even myself, I'm still like my physique, my muscle mass, I'm still not where I want to be. So it's like you kind of have to get to the point where you just have to like let go of the result and start enjoying the freaking process and just like lean
yes.
into the process and be like, I enjoy training.
Yes, I love
I
that.
want to train. I enjoy eating quality foods. But if you're so focused on the end result, like I'm sorry, you're gonna quit a million times and you'll never get there.
Yep. Yep, you're spot on. Well, and something else is, yeah, we're all related, but my strengths and Brooklyn's strengths and my mom's strengths, all different.
Yep.
All
Mm.
different. You know, when I step on stage, my strength is my glutes. My weakness is my upper body. And that is something I continue to face. But like Brooklyn said, like she had to build up her glutes, you know, and that was something that she had to work through for years. And mom, like your strength is your upper body and you're building up your glutes. What, Brooklyn?
I'd love to have mom's upper body. It's just
I
like
know.
I do. I love my upper body, but I do not have the glutes and ham. So I continually work my ass off. I really do.
Literally.
And I know, but I swear I'm building little muscles in my glutes and my
You are.
legs have built, I have 2 pounds
big
more
muscle. You're
muscle
building a
now.
big booty.
Mom,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're the appearance of your butt, like over the years, I know I say this, but every time I see like you do an exercise or like I see you in person, I'm like, oh, your butt is looking good. Like I always, I always tell you that. And it's because you're continually working on it.
I never stop. Yeah,
I
it's fun.
second
And
that.
I love how Brooklyn says enjoy the process. I think that's the biggest thing is just love what you're doing. I mean, find things that you love about it that you're doing. Like find ways that it's making you feel excited about life. And that's the coolest thing is enjoying the journey because it is a
Mhm.
pretty damn cool one. So
I think what a lot of women get stuck in though is they're so focused on I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but
I'll
like
feel confident when.
I'll feel confident with
yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like and I'm like, look, like you've got to embrace the process of where you're at right now because like for me, like through all of my phases that I've been through, I mean, yeah, of course, you're going to go through phases where you may not feel as confident, but if you don't learn to enjoy training and you don't learn to enjoy like the nutrition side of it, you're going to quit a million times and you'll never get there. So, like, you might as well just like start enjoying it and then make sure, yeah, of course, you have someone in your corner that can help you get there and expedite the process. But even having a coach, I'll say I've hired coaches for the last, what, 6 years now. Do you still see me going to the Olympia? Like, that's my ultimate goal. I don't know if I'll ever get there. Like, just because you invest a lot of money and time doesn't mean you're always going to reach this, like, oh, like place you want to be. But maybe that's the whole point. Like, maybe the whole point is just like enjoying and leaning into the process and like embracing the person that you've become through the process. If you don't learn to do that, you're never going to be happy, you're never going to be satisfied, and you're always going to feel discouraged. Like, it's such a
Yes.
gap mindset to be in. And I find a lot of my clients get stuck there. And I have to remind them, like, look, I get that you want to be ascended at this point. You want to be like, oh, like this amazing physique. But I've worked with women who are shredded out of their freaking minds who still are unhappy with the way they look.
It's because you don't learn to love who you are right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like
Sorry, I interrupted you,
no,
but
you're good.
it's
No, keep going. I think like that's something we can touch on at the end because I think we're talking about all these strategies, but what I think a lot of the most important strategy is like work on your freaking head. Like because if
that's everything.
yeah, if you don't fix this up here in your self-talk, I'm sorry, like you're going to be in this never-ending loop.
Yes, my clients that I see the most progress out of are the ones that we initially start working together. Their self-talk, That's something we have to work through, that mental push, the mental struggle, and these are things that they have to start working on. Those are the ones that make the most progress. Those are the ones that keep the progress. Those are the ones that just continue to get better and get better and get better. It's because they learn to talk to themselves in a positive way. And then, as well as, where were we just? I kind of just lost what I
They
was
just
saying.
sort of talk. They
Oh,
talk.
learn. They just learn to love who they are at and the stage that they're at, and and they learn to love the day to day of it all, the nitty gritty, because if you don't love it, why are you doing it?
Yeah, I think that's really important. Like you've gotta lean into the enjoyment of the process, and like I don't know. I feel like find me a person who's fully satisfied with where they're at in life and anything. I don't think for high achieving people, I will say, for people who have high expectations and high goals for themselves, you're never gonna be fully like, oh yeah, like I am fully like excited about where I'm at. But also too, like you have to be proud of yourself, and you have to be um like you have to take time to like reflect back to where you started, where you are now, and enjoy the process too, because like if you don't do that, I feel like you're just gonna always be discouraged and unmotivated. Like the worst I always feel is when I get stuck in this loop of comparing myself to other people and comparing myself to where I think I should be. It is the quickest way for me to feel like what's the point, and make me feel like I should just quit everything I'm doing. Literally including all the things from work to fitness to mom life. So, anything you wanted to add to that, mom?
No, I love that you guys are talking about mindset because it's the mind will get you wherever you want to. You just need to tell yourself that. You need to start, I mean, believe it. Like really tell yourself that. I mean, write it down. Write things in a journal. Write things on your mirror. I mean, those things are so crucial because your mind, your body hears everything you tell yourself, and so it's important to be in a good mindset. That's how you'll just keep going. But enjoy the journey. Like I've loved it from the very beginning, but then I also have been able to look back and see my progress, and I'm like, holy shit. And then that's where you have good friends that will sometimes tell you, look at you, like you look incredible. Like you just look so bright and just like you look so happy, you're glowing. And so I think it's important to also have good friends, not friends that sometimes will make you feel bad that you're doing it, but you'll find good friends that will tell you things that they'll be like, look at you go, like you're doing this. So I think it just is all part of the package, and you learn these things along the way. It's just part of it. But yeah, enjoy the journey, you guys. Yeah.
That's one thing I've had to learn this season for me, like especially as I'm winding down and I'm done. I haven't reached my goal, which sucks. Like I won't lie, like that's not a fun feeling to recognize when you haven't reached a goal. Especially like if you're shutting it down. Like for me, I'm going to be shutting it down for a few years. Like it's not the best feeling in the world to like be like, oh, I haven't reached my goal. But if I look at it as like, haven't reached my goal, that really unmotivates me because I'm like, well, then what's the point of like ever doing this again? But instead, I have to look at back like where I started to where I am now. When I started competing or when I started my journey of fitness. Wow, like I would have never thought in a million years I would be where I am today. Like never ever. So like I think it's important too to like take time to reflect back a little bit and let that kind of propel you forward versus looking at like everybody else and what they're doing and comparing yourself to where you think you should be too. So, yeah, I think those are really great points. So we'll just go and wrap up today. Yeah, if you guys have any subjects or things you'd like us to cover for our next podcast, please comment below. Please like and share, subscribe. When you subscribe, it actually will notify you when we post another podcast because right now we're doing it a little sporadically. When school starts up, my son's back in school, we'll be doing these every like week, but for right now, it's just really hard. So again, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, anything you guys wanted to add before we end this podcast today.
No,
Nope.
it's great.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.